Hello, this video starts off with some photos and some mixed video footage of my Colombian red-tailed boa, while I talk about some info about the snakes and their care. At the end of the video, there is some video footage of 2 feedings, one pre-killed and one live. Hey people, my name is Trevor Bayshaw. I live in Ontario, Canada. Unfortunately here there is a bylaw restricting reptiles. Technically, I'm not allowed to own any reptile that gets larger than 14 inches when it's full grown. But I said, fuck that, and I bought a snake anyway. My snake is a Columbian red-tailed boa, or common boa. The common boa is not a true red-tail, but still called a red-tailed boa commonly, funny thing, because of their red tail. The common boa comes from Central America and the Mexico area. The true red-tailed boas come from the east, places like Guyana, Suriname, Brazil, and Peru. The difference in these snakes is where they're from, location-wise. They have difference in patterns and colors. A lot of the confusion was started really by pet stores. It was a sales gimmick because the common boa, it's not as appealing. It sounds better when you call them a Colombian red-tailed boa. The true red tails also tend to be nervous. They're more likely to bite and sometimes get much larger. If you want your snake to remain docile and friendly, handle it, say, at least 15 minutes a week. I recommend handling your snake every day for that long. They love to be out of their enclosure. They like to explore. But I'm going to talk about the Colombian red-tailed boa, or the common boa. The common boa is a terrestrial species of snake, which means ground dweller. But they do climb, so in their enclosure, provide them with stumps, branches, rocks, anything they can climb on. I don't recommend you get your sticks, logs, branches, rocks from outside. You can get parasites that way. Spend the extra money and buy them from a pet store. It'll save you some trouble down the road. As for your enclosure, another thing you're going to want is a top that is very secure, or a door that locks. Snakes are escape artists, and they will get out. I recommend for a juvenile Colombian red-tailed boa, their enclosure should start at around 20 gallon. They'll be good in that for the first 3-4 months of their life. When an adult will need something, say, 5 to 6 feet long, and should be no smaller than 2/3 the length of a snake's body. Enclosure shouldn't be too long either, or too big, because it can stress the snake out. They like to be cozy and confined. The Colombian red-tailed boa can live anywhere between 15 and 25 years and will grow 1.5 to 2 inches per month. That's 2 feet per year for the first 3-4 years of their life. Then after that, growth slows down to, say, a few inches per year. On average, males grow to be 6 to 8 feet, when females will grow a bit larger at 7 to 9 feet. It all depends on feeding and genetics. These snakes get big, so be sure you can handle a snake that size. They're costly, and be responsible. It's a huge commitment. They live a long time. I say if you're a first-time snake owner, get a corn snake or a ball python. Ball pythons only get 4 or 5 feet long, and they're pretty interesting. They're cool snakes. Pythons lay eggs, whereas boa constrictors have live birth. And when it comes to feeding, like, really, a snake's gotta eat too. Come on, people. Like, humans eat way worse. When you do feed your snake, it's recommended that you don't feed your snake inside its enclosure. You do this in a separate feeding box, something different. Basically, you do this so every time you stick your hand in the enclosure, they don't assume that it's food coming. You're less likely to get bit. The Colombian red-tailed boa starts out eating small pinky mouse, but by age 3 or 4 will be eating jumbo-sized rats or even smaller rabbits. Be sure you can handle that. When young, they should eat once a week. When adults, say every 2 to 3 weeks. The rule of thumb for food size is don't feed the snake anything larger than the largest part of the snake's body. It should only create a small lump after it's swallowed. I recommend frozen thawed or pre-killed food. It's safer for your snake because live rodents could injure or maybe even kill your snake. If your snake doesn't eat for a while, like say even a month or something like that, it's probably stressed or you're doing something wrong. Talk to your vet or talk to a reptile professional. They'll guide you through, say, steps on how to force feed, or maybe you could try live food. Talk to a professional. Okay, temperature. As for temperature, in the daytime you're going to want it to be about 95 degrees roughly on the warm side, and around 80-85 on the cool side. At night, when your daylight is off, your temperature can drop down to even 75 on the cool side, and that's alright, but you wouldn't want it any colder than that. If the temp is too low, your snake is more susceptible to illnesses like a respiratory infection, and then you're looking at vet bills. And while I'm talking about the vet, I highly recommend, as soon as you get your snake, when it does go to the washroom the first time, you should bring a sample to your vet, bring the snake, have it looked over. Snakes can carry internal parasites like worms, and also external parasites like mites, and when left alone, if they get out of hand, can result in death of your snake. A vet visit is a good idea. Your enclosure also has to have a heating pad for underneath, or also known as a substrate heater, which will help the snake to digest its food. Substrate, there's lots of things you can use. Eco earth, all the way to like paper towel or newspaper. Your snake's going to be comfortable whatever you use. Like in the wild, they live under rocks and on the ground, right? Personally, I use indoor-outdoor carpet. It's easy. You pull it out, you wash it in the sink, put it back in, it's done. But whatever you use, I say every time the snake goes to the bathroom, change it or clean the enclosure. Do both. Oh, never use anything made of pine. It's toxic to snakes. If you use a substrate like I do, like newspaper or indoor-outdoor carpet, you're going to have to mist your enclosure daily to keep the humidity up. It's important for the snake. It will help them when they shed, and the snake will also need a hide box, a cave. It could be anything, a cardboard box with a hole in it, just so it can hide. Your snake will feel safer. Also, then you're going to need a water dish that's large enough for your snake to soak in. Sometimes they like to soak. If they're soaking too much, it can mean that they have mites. My snake never soaks. Anyway, the water should be changed at least every 2 days, and unchlorinated water is recommended. The Colombian red-tailed boa is popular in the pet trade because of their docile nature. They're very friendly, they're fun to handle, they're just all around a really great snake. I guess that's about it. It's all I can tell you. Remember, I'm no certified professional, so this is all just like my recommendations and my opinions. So really, you can set up and care for your snake however the fuck you want. But I hope I've helped out. Now for the exciting part. Feeding time. The whole process for her to strike, constrict, and swallow takes about 10-15 minutes, but I edited the video a bit so it doesn't take that long. As you can see, I feed frozen thawed, but as a bonus, if you wait till the end of this first video clip, when she's done, I also show her first and only live kill. Now a little bit about my Colombian red-tailed boa. Her name is Bella. Bella means beautiful in Italian. Not that you care. But, yeah, she was born on April 2009 and is now 1 year and 10 months old. She's currently measuring in at 40 inches long. Right now for food, I'm feeding her a medium-sized rat every 2 weeks. I tried feeding her once a week, but she just plays with her food. She won't eat that often. So every 2 weeks. And I know that sounds like a long time, but a snake can go without eating for they can survive 6 or 8 months without food. That's crazy, but they can. But yeah, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Comment, rate, subscribe. Bye for now.
to reclaim the throne. Oh no, them Trizzo was not so.